Nice. It's now time for our first special guest, Jim Crickard. We're not just going to welcome him up, I'm going to do a proper little intro. Jim describes his poetry as camp, entertaining work that explores culture, sexuality, and identity. He has been published in various literary journals and was shortlisted in 2018 for the O'Vale International 5 Words competition. That same year, he won the Kurt Spoken Word platform and was awarded a slot to perform at Electric Picnic. In 2019, he was selected by Poetry Island for the inaugural Versify series and performed to a sold-out show at Dublin Fringe Festival. He also came second in the 2019 All-Ireland Poetry Slam final. His words blew us away last night at the Peace Poetry event. Please give a big fire and dust welcome to Jim Crickard.
Thanks, Scott. Thank you for that, Rafe. So it's wonderful to be here, and you know, I'm just really glad to see some familiar faces. And oh, I need to just change that so I can actually see you guys, and to see all of you new faces. And I don't know, I enjoy the poems, and I hope you're gonna enjoy mine. The first poem I'm gonna do is called Hen Party in the George. And the George is a gay bar in Dublin. And, you know, I guess it's just, you might have had that experience before where the hen party comes in and they take over. And that's my kind of poem in response to that, to imagine that happening. Be careful around corners. Don't make eye contact at the bar. Watch out for the mom. She's on safari in search of exotic birds. For a parrot to echo her punchlines, or maybe a cockatoo. She's prowling around the cocktail lounge. She's looking for me and you. The mother of the bride uses her lazy eye as an advantage, edging into a group of faces with meandering conversation, blocking their exit, unsure who she's addressing, as she talks about her gay hairdresser and how great he is with the scissors. I've never had a problem with the gays now myself, she says, pausing to sip from her pink plastic penis, pausing for praise. And one by one, the gays fly south, migrating to the bar, to the dance floor, to South Africa if necessary. She gasps when she sees the Black Crow drag queen stalking her long legs across the stage, 7 feet tall, in a silver crown of feathers, reflecting light off the disco ball. Jesus, she says, stealing the microphone. You're looking better than me. I should feckin' hope so, says the drag queen. You're twice me bleeding age. Slowly, slowly, the hen party has pissed off all of the George, abandoning punctured plastic husbands all over the stage, flashing so many cameras it feels like E.T.'s family has landed. A gathering parliament of lesbians encircles the hens. A murder of goths flies down from the VIP lounge. I wonder if they've seen Hitchcock's movie, The Birds. Thank you. So the next poem I'm going to do is called On Being a Vampiress, and it's kind of playing around with the conventions of vampires. I have this idea of, well, not my idea, but you know, the convention where when a vampire looks in the mirror, they don't have any reflection. I've been playing with that, but my vampire, I've given her a boob job, so she's looking in the mirror and all she can see are her little silicone implants. Okay, On Being a Vampiress. As the velvet cloak slides off my bone-white skin, my reflection is reduced to 2 orbs of silicone floating. Hollywood's best. With this strange and naked effacement, I find myself obsessed. Like Narcissus, peering into the reaches, forever searching for himself. I do not see my face in these levitating lakes, but can see the imprints of my fingers when I touch myself. Nightfall, blood moon, the sky aches with menstrual light, spilling on the city of glass and chrome, burning an orange glow. I follow the scent of flesh, wearing my finest burgundy silks, the color of a bruise. I walk through telecom estates. Call centers offer easy prey. Night shifts, insufferable customers. They almost look relieved in blood-splattered headsets. When I bring my final victim before the mirror, he's still entranced by the rapid flashes of my golden eyes. Reflected, bobbing, bouncing, these aqueous foreign objects. The blood inside my digestive system is still visible in the mirror, like watercolor snakes, floating, rising, falling. My vermilion crystal guts, my silicone twins. Dawn breaks in a slow spill of Lucozade. Loneliness fills my coffin. I fall asleep to the sounds of garbage men reversing, window shutters, pedestrians, whilst my body follows its cycle of turning to dust, leaving silicone resting on the apex of my remains. I listen to the birdsong of a world going on without me. Thank you. I'm gonna do a poem. I did a different cat poem last night. I'm gonna do a different one tonight. It's in memory of my cat Queenie, who, like, I think she ran away or died last January. I put her out one morning and we never saw her again, unfortunately. But I have this poem called Pet Cemetery, and it goes back to like Egyptian times when they were worshipped and revered. Whenever their cats would die, they'd shave off their eyebrows to show that they were in mourning of their cat. So I played around with that. Like the Egyptians, I shave off my eyebrows and bow down to mourn the body of my dead cat. Beneath the night sky, diffused by her helix eyes, I cradle her body and walk the streets, tears running down my face, smooth as cement, featureless, flattened to an oval. A crowd of people are celebrating the Rose of Tralee, still weeping, still cradling my dead cat. I join them, remember, browless. As fireworks scratch across the midnight black, I think perhaps she's clawing at the cat flap of the underworld. When thunder breaks, she's knocking plates in heaven. Thank you. Okay, so what else will I do here? Thing about cats, right? People can always say like, oh, cats, they don't really love their owners. Like, I hate cats or whatever. That's socially acceptable, but it isn't acceptable to say I hate dogs. And like, I don't hate dogs, but I wrote this poem called I Hate Dogs, just to see what I can conjure up and where I can go with this. I hate dogs. If dogs could evolve and grow opposable thumbs, they'd be the type I try to avoid at parties. The kind that burst across a room to shake my hand and give sloppy kisses to each cheek. The cold, wet gloss of their nose against my neck, running their paws over my chest in a clumsy body search, breaking the chain of my necklace, sending crystal pinballs bouncing off the tiles, oblivious to in a spray of fragmented light, oblivious to the expense, with their friends making appeasements for the careless greeting, explaining that he was just excited to meet me. If dogs could talk, I'd hold my nose from their meaty breath, fouling the conversation, which consists of one repetitious question. Can we be friends? Can we be friends? Can we be friends? I'd recoil from the desperation of those hooded eyes and seek the company of a sleek black cat with jade eyes, reciting her insights on the papers of Jean-Paul Sartre. As she gives the feline perspective on existential anguish, I'd find myself annoyed when I turned around to find this dog sniffing the warmth inside my thighs, ignoring me, waving its face away, with dog owners smiling, petting its head, encouraging the invasion. Straining my best, dead inside, middle class, suburban smile, I think bitter thoughts of Schrödinger, putting a dog inside a box, how I keep it locked and post it around to the pound. But I keep these thoughts to myself because dogs are a man's best friend. Beethoven, Benji, Toto, Lassie, Snoopy, Cujo, before the rabies. I'm sure even Jesus threw scraps from the Last Supper to his dog. So I pretend I don't hate dogs, your dog, or every dog I've ever met. Thank you. I don't really mean it. I love dogs. We have two here. One is called Rolo, and I especially love him. And we have Shep as well. And I love her as well. But yeah. I'm going to go to another poem now. It's called Straight Pride. And I don't know if you heard this maybe 2 years ago. In Boston, there was a straight pride parade approved. And it kind of came from, you know, the extreme right-wing side of people who were really pushing an agenda. I guess like they were kind of saying, well, the gays have a pride, why can't we have a pride? Like as if they had years of oppression that they had to kind of celebrate or kind of overcome. So I wrote this poem called Straight Pride, just trying my best to imagine what this would even look like. So here we go, Straight Pride. Every shade of beige will be draped around Boston. Don't stop believing in summer of '69 blaring from floats. Grown men dressed in Buzz Lightyear costumes. Straight women can leave their gay best friends in a playpen. All the colors of the rainbow blended into a terrible brown, and they'll wave that great brown flag around and shout their message aggressively. We're here, not queer. Get used to us. We're used to you. Vanilla ice cream. TED Talks on the missionary position. Female impersonators impersonated by females. Outdoor screenings of the Titanic. Goat yoga. Avocado toast. Every movie starring Tom Cruise. And khaki pants. LGBT activists will get accused of being Westboro Baptists for picketing the ghastly Pride parody with signs that read, when was it illegal for men and women to get married? When did a straight person get jailed for being straight? When did a straight person get put to death for being straight? Oh, repressed majority, how have you coped these last 10 years? Are you mad because we've taken rainbows away from My Little Pony? Thank you. Thanks for the comments, guys. It's lovely coming in as I'm doing this. Rafe, I just want to check how am I doing for time. I'm sorry, I didn't really keep an eye on the clock. Have I got another minute, 5 minutes, or?
You know what? I didn't keep an eye either. Yeah, I think at least another two poems.
Another 2 poems. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Okay. I'm going to go to another kind of my nerdy sci-fi side. As you can see there, that's Freddy Krueger. I'm a big horror fan, and Alien is probably my favorite film. And this one is called Alien Queen, and it's just my fantasy from watching it about 60 times. Alien Queen. Alien queen, resting inside the hive, slick with fluid, that black and phallic head. Violence comes naturally as motherhood, spreading your webs, that tangled poison. Won't you wrap me up hand and foot and leave me to your larvae? How I crave the edge of your danger, helpless in your webs, waiting for Ellen Ripley to scale this corrugated city, to unwrap me and set your nest ablaze. How sorely I want that showdown. Ripley maneuvering the metal forklift, screaming, "Get away from her, you bitch!" Alien queen, when you fall through that airlock, please know I will follow you, and you can plunge your claws into my rib cage as we freeze in the black starry ether and float, eyes locked together, slow dancing the universe forever. Thank you. That's that one. Okay, I'm going to end on a last poem, which is kind of about my teenage years, coming out of the closet and what it was like before that. And just with the beginning of it in Ireland, Republic of Ireland, homosexuality was only legalized in 1993. So it's just something to know, I guess, going into the poem. Okay, a queen trying to survive his teens. I was born May 6th, 1992. Homosexuality was legalized in 1993. I guess that means I was an illegal baby. You know what they say about gays, always needing an entrance. The law changed, but people didn't. By the time I reached 12, I knew well how to behave. I studied the hand movements of men, steady ships tied down by their hips. When they sat, I watched them sail the bay of their lap, whereas mine were pink Barbie boats, zipping around in conversation, just gesticulating. When I sat with my hands clasped on my lap, they became a bone china basin held by rubber wrists. And so I turned them into ships. Each morning in the bathroom, the boy machine, the black bathroom mat, a conveyor belt carried me along a line of Lynx cans, spraying gas from their steel eyes. A comb, when I had hair, slick with Dax wax, moved over and back until I emerged, glossy, packaged, believable. I befriended some boys, the soccer kind, said I supported Arsenal to survive. When really, I was watching Desperate Housewives. But I'd deny my love for that show 3 times before the cock crowed. Their approval was my air. When I turned 16, I felt the word fabulous on my tongue. That sparkling, ridiculous word tasted like a cherry cocktail that I splashed around in conversations. I flew a flag and hilarious girls encircled me protectively. Their little gay president. We laughed so hard together, moving as one, wall to wall in the school halls, an untouchable circle. Thank you.
Sorry, Jim, I lost track there. I was that caught up in the poetry. That was the two, wasn't it? That was brilliant. Thanks so much for sharing those. It was great to hear a few again from last night and also some new ones. Yeah, I'm stunned by how great your stuff is. That nice touch of like comedy, but also it gets pretty dark or it gets really, real and serious. Love it, man.
Oh,
Thank you
thanks
so
so
much.
much. So great to be here. Thank you.
Cheers for joining us. It's been great. So guys, it's going to be a 5-minute break just to go stretch legs and grab a drink, go toilet, all that stuff, and then we'll come back. So literally just 5 minutes, and then we'll be back again. You can unmute yourselves if you want to have a quick chat as well. You guys finding it all right performing to the video kind of thing? I know it's a bit tough when it's silent, but is it all right?
You get used to it.
It's March. We've all been used to Zooms since March.
Cool.
Yeah.
I've fallen in love with Zoom.
It's definitely got its pros as well as its cons.
I love Zoom, but I still find it difficult performing to a muted audience. I really do, because most of my stuff I'm relying on laughter, and it's so easy to convince yourself that you've just really bombed.
Sure.
I don't know if everyone's got it. I've got this sort of laugh out loud emoji thing. We can stick some of those up for you in the funny bits.